And so this has caused a good bit of a stir locally here in Cavan about a certain councillor, Sinn Féin councillor. He's from the Bayborough Catilla Municipal Authority. He's only after been elected in June. He's a Sinn Féin councillor, as I say. But this is the thing, and I don't think he realises this, and I don't think the mainstream political parties realise it. They do realise it, but they just don't care. He's talking about fining people for not voting, etc., etc. Now, first of all, this is the first thing. The next thing go into, so bear with me a second. First of all, it's your right not to vote. If you don't want to vote, you don't really have to vote. It's your choice. At the end of the day, if you don't like anybody, you don't want to vote for anybody, you don't like any of them, you think all of them are useless, you're perfectly entitled. There's no reason why you should be forced to vote. It's simple as that. Not, if you want to participate, you can. If you don't, you don't. Simple as that. There's no issue with that. There shouldn't be you make people do it by fining them. That's not acceptable in a democracy. It's about choice at the end of the day, democracy. You might encourage people to vote, etc., etc. That's okay. But if they really don't want to vote, there's no way in democracy you can't make them. It's not an authoritarian regime, not yet anyway. The second thing is, and this councillor knows this, the people are fucking sick and tired. In County Cavan here, I can point out 6 or 7 people, old people, even young people, they're sick and fucking tired of the whole fucking system. To put it straight, this is the nicest possible way of putting it. Because at the end of the day, they can't afford to buy a house. They can't afford to rent a house. They can't afford to even get a car on the road. Because these politicians are a huge amount of money. These councillors and TDs on huge amount of money, huge salaries. They never have to worry about anything, to be told, because they have big salaries. And, they only see their councillors and TDs once every 5 years, whenever the election comes around. You never hear from them again. Simple as that, you never see them again. And you only see them when the election comes around. So, a lot of people are just sick to fucking death. I know so many old people last election, even just the election gone by in November, they were sick to fucking death. They were sick of death. They're sick of death. They're 60 years old. They've lived all their life. They've just seen their money been squandered on wars, etc., etc. So, and as many of them said, why would I vote? Because pretty much all of them are the same. They're all looking out for themselves. They're not looking out for the Irish people. And Sinn Féin particularly have some nerve, because we've seen time and time again working class communities where people have been put in the middle of the night into hotels, etc. Sinn Féin were nowhere to be found. And pretty much said nobody has the right to veto anybody in your area. And Sinn Féin lost the support, a lot of support from people, and so rightly so. So Sinn Féin, have not really much a leg to stand on, because they didn't take up for people. There was migration issues. They ran away from it. They didn't want to discuss it, and they're still running away from it. But yeah, I disagree immensely with finding people. I always encourage people to vote. You even seen in the Dáil election, I was the first person probably in County Cavan to vote. I was there literally before the time to vote. I was the first one in my polling station to vote. And the same with the referendum. I wasn't there for the local elections and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a democratic right. If you don't want to vote, you don't have to vote. Simple as that. That's the way it should be. Because at the end of the day, it's about your choice. Democracy is about choice. If you choose to vote, you can. If you don't want to vote, you don't really have to. But obviously, you should encourage people to vote, etc., etc., participate. But if they don't want to, they don't have to. Simple as that. And why would they do it? Because the majority of times, and to be totally honest with you, I know many people, have talked to many people about democracy and voting, etc., etc., and the majority of people regret voting for whoever they vote for. Because at the end of the day, nothing's ever achieved. Nothing's ever done. Pretty much same old, same old. So, it's not good enough. It's not good enough that a Sinn Féin councillor is coming out and saying that we should fine people if they don't participate in local elections, etc., etc. It's not good enough. And I think, and again, there's only a council meeting. It's not a government meeting. It's not a mandate from the government. But again, they're putting it out there, and I don't think we should. I think the majority of people in Ireland and County Cavan, presumably too, going by the reaction online and people contacting me about it, it's very, very, very sour. It's very sour, and it's up in Sinn Féin will have to contest now. Because, it's not right to fine people. Because, again, they won't fine people who's coming into the country illegally. They won't do that. But they're willing to go after Irish people for not voting in the elections. And Sinn Féin, too, want to expand the voting rights to people who are non-Irish citizens, too. So, we have to think about that, too. So, they can do that, too. They'll probably do that instead of this. Because they'd rather get people that are just coming into the state, get a few more handouts, etc., etc. The usual thing from Sinn Féin. But yeah, I don't agree with this, to be totally honest. At the end of the day, if you want to vote, you can. If you don't want to vote, it's your choice. But at the end of the day, and this is the thing he should be saying, people are sick to fucking I'm sure he got it on the door when he was looking for the elections, that people are sick and fucking tired of county councils and TDs talking shit and achieving nothing, pretty much. There's nothing been achieved. in any regard. People just listen to the same old. People struggling to pay the bills, struggling to survive. Old age pensioners freezing in their houses because they're not allowed to light fires, etc., etc. The list goes on. We could be here for the next week discussing all these things that we could discuss. And again, many people I know too didn't bother to vote, didn't want to vote, didn't care. Because why would they care? Because at the end of the day, they have families, they have a life, they have a work life. Why did they care about a politician that is only looking out for themselves? It's simple as that, and that's the truth. Not just speaking on him, the councillor in general, but I'm saying in general too, that people are just sick to fucking death with it. And I disagree immensely. And again, I would fight this if it does ever become law, that we should fight it, because it's not acceptable that anybody be fined for not voting in an election, either be local election, national election, whatever it may be, referendum, whatever. But I don't think we should make people. Simple as that. Because at the end of the day, why would you make somebody do that? At the end of the day, that's democracy. You have a choice. It's your vote. It's up to you. If you want to use it, you can. If you don't, that's your choice. But making people to do it, we might as well become a dictatorship at that stage. If we're going to make people, we might as well rig the elections and say, we're going to vote for one person. And that's really it. That's what nearly the suggestion here we do, because at the end of the day, it's your choice, and I can't emphasize that enough. It's up to the person in general, whoever they are, if it's a man, woman, whoever. If they want to vote, they can, and I think that's the way it should be, and it's right the way it is. I don't see an issue with it. I would love people to participate more, but people have lives. People don't care about politicians, because at the end of the day, it's not benefiting them. It's only benefiting the politicians. Not like the majority of people who are elected. I haven't seen anything been changed in County Cavan. The majority of the new councillors, nothing has changed. Everything's still the same. Nothing has really been changed. That's just putting it straight. Thank you.